Hello guys, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our Dart programming language course. I hope you all are fine. Our previous tutorial was about set in Dart. Now in today's tutorial we are going to discuss where in Dart. You can use where in list map set to filter specific items. It returns a new list containing all the elements that satisfy the condition. This is also called where filter in Dart. In this tutorial, our main focus is on where, right? We will use where. But we have some other different things, same like where. Here you can see first where, last where, retain all, remove where, index where, single where, last index of, right? We will see all these step by step, right? First of all, we will see all the operations by using list. Then we will see all the operations for map, and at the last we will see all the operations on set. Now first of all we will use list, right? Let me open VS Code and show you practically. Here you can see I already created a list. Now we will filter this list by using where. Names list dot where. Here you can see where. If we use where, it will return us iterable string, right? Iterable string, and we can convert this into a list. Where? Here we need to pass anonymous function. It will give all the items one by one. String, we can name it as E. And here we need to return a condition by using arrow function. We can also use basic function or simple function. Then we need to use return keyword. But here we can write our condition directly after arrow symbol. Here for example, I want to filter my list on the basis of first element. For example, E dot starts with capital A, for example. So it will give me all the items inside this list that starts with capital A, right? But we need to store our result into a new list. Let me create a list, new list, string. I can name it as filtered names, like this. You can see it is showing error because our where function will return an iterable string and we need to convert it into a list. Here we can use toList. Now you can see error has been removed. Now we can simply print our filtered names. Filtered names. Now let me test it. Here you can see it is printing filtered list. It has only one item, right? We have only one item that starts with capital A, right? The same like A we can use here B. Now it will print all the items that starts with B. Here you can see. The same like starts with we can use ends with. Ends with, and for example here I use Y. Now it will give me all the items that ends with Y. Let me print. Here you can see it is printing all the items that ends with Y. So this is the way we can filter any list. Here I can choose another condition. For example, I want to filter all the items contains A, right? That contains A. Starts with, ends with, there is no restriction. A can be in start of item, end of the item, or on the center of the item, right? There is no restriction. Let me test it. Here you can see it is printing all the items that contains A. If you see here, all the items have A, like this, A, A, right? Now I can use here C, right? If I use C, now you will see output. Here you can see it is printing all the items with C, right? So this is the way we can filter any list by using where. So here you can use any condition. Let me use another condition on the base of length. For example, where length is greater than 5. For example, it will print all the items that have size greater than 5. There is only one item. If I use here 4, Here you can see it is printing more items that have length greater than 4. So this is the way we can filter our list. Next one is first where and last where. Now we will use first where and last where. If I use here first where dot first where, here you can see this is first where and it has return type string. It means it will return only one item, right? Only one item. So keep in mind first where, and inside first where we need to give anonymous function string e, and here we can return our condition. It will give only one item, right? Only one item. We can use here same condition e dot ends with y, because first where will return a string, right? Here we can store the result into a string, name it as result, and here we can print that result like this. Now let me test it. Here you can see it is printing a smiley. Now why it is printing a smiley? You can see our list has 3 items that ends with Y. First one is a smiley, second one is Henry, and last one is IP. It has 3 items, right? But why it is printing a smiley? Because this is first where. It will print first item, right? On the base of this condition. It has 3 items, but first is a smiley. On the basis of indexing, a smiley is first, right? That is why it is printing a smiley. So if we use here last where, let me replace last where. Now it will print IV. Let me test it. Here you can see it is printing IV because this is last where. Last where. It will print last item on the basis of condition, right? Because 3 items satisfy that condition, and from that 3 items IV is last item, right? That is why it is printing IV. I hope you understand the difference of first where and last where. You can choose here any condition. The next one is retain where and retain all. The retain all will not work for list. We will see only retain where. Let me show you. If we use here names list dot retain where, here you can see return type of retain where is void. It means it will not return anything. So keep in mind it will only modify existing list without returning anything. Retain where, here we need to pass anonymous function same like previous, and here we need condition. Now here we can use condition, for example e dot starts with capital A. Now if we print our list names list, here you can see it is printing only one item. Now I am going to show you difference. It is doing same thing like where, but only difference is that if we use where, the where return a new list, right? But return where does not any list. It modify existing list, right? It will do all the modifications on existing list, right? It does not return a new list. So this is only difference between where and return where, right? I hope you understand. Here you can use any condition. Let me use another condition. E dot ends with, for example, y. So it will modify existing list. It will not create a new list. Here you can see. This is the difference between retain where and where. The next one is remove where. We can use here remove where. Same like retain where. Remove where. Let me test it. It will remove all the items that satisfy this particular condition. So you can see 3 items. It removed 3 items that ends with Y. You can see the remaining list is here. You can remove items on the basis of length. Let me show you. For example, we want to remove all the items that has length less than 6. Let me test it. Here you can see all the items has been removed that have length less than 6. Only one item is remaining. So this is the use of remove where. Here you can use any condition. Next one is index where. Let me show you. Index where. Names list dot index where. Here you can see index where. It is showing return type as integer. It means it will return an index on the base of condition index where, and here we need to pass anonymous function e, and here for example let me give a condition e dot ends with y. Because its return type is integer, here we need to store the result into integer, and here we can print our result. Let me test it. Here you can see it is printing 4. 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. The first item is Amiley, right? That satisfies the condition. That is why it is printing 4. Here we can also match items. For example, E is equal to Frank. It will give index of Frank. Let me test it. You can see it is printing 5. If I use here Alice, let me use Alice, it will give index as 0. Here you can see. So this is the way we can find index of any items. The next one is single where. Names list dot single where. Here you can see single where. Its return type is string. It means it will give only one item. Let me use it. Single where. Here we need to pass anonymous function string e, and here we can use our condition. For example, e dot length greater than 4. Its return type is string. That is why here we need to store string result. Let me test it. Here you can see it is showing exception. Too many elements, because there are more than one elements that satisfy this condition. That is why it is showing error. So single where means it should match the condition with only one item, right? Not more than one item. Now let me use the condition and that will give only one item. For example, E dot starts with capital A. You can see there is only one item that starts with A. Now single where will work properly. Let me test it. Here you can see this is output. So this is the use of single where, right? Our condition should match with only one item. If there are more than one items, then it will show exception. It supports for only one item for list. I hope you understand. Next one is last index where and last index of. Let me show you. Names list dot last index where. Here you can see its return type is integer. It means it will give us an index. Let me use it. Last index where. Here we need to pass anonymous function string e, and here now let me use same condition e dot ends with y. Because it will give a result as an integer, let me store into integer result. Now let me show you. Here you can see it is showing 8. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is printing the index of ivy. If you see the condition e dot ends with y, right? There are three items that satisfy this condition: Amiley, Henry and Ivy. Because this is last index where, it will print the last index of the items that satisfy this condition. The last item is Ivy. That is why it is printing its indexing. Here you can see. This is the use of last index where. I hope you understand. Now we will see last index of. Let me show you. Names list dot last index of. Here simply we need to pass our element, for example Frank, and we need to store it into result like this. Let me test it. Here you can see it is printing 5. Here if you see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it is printing 5 because the index of Frank is 5, right? For example, we have two items with Frank name, Frank. Now you can see there are two items. There are two items, Frank. So last index of will print index of last item. Last from these two, right? Let me test it. It will print 6. Here you can see it is printing 6 because last one is Frank, right? I hope you got the difference. Now we will see all these operations for map. Let me show you. First of all, we will see where. Here you can see I already created a map. Let me use names map. So keep in mind we cannot directly use where on our map, right? If we use here where, there is no function here, right? I hope you understand. But we can use it on keys, values or entries, right? Let me show you. First of all, let me use it on keys, right? Here you can see keys. Here we can use where, right? If we use where, let me show you. Here it will give us a string e string e, and here we can use condition. We want to get a key that ends with for example 5, and the return type of where is, you can see iterable string, right? Iterable string. We can convert this into a list dot to list, and here we can store it into a list of string like this. Name it as result, and here we can print result like this. Let me show you. Here you can see it is printing name 5 because there is only one key that satisfies our condition. If we use here for example 8, now it will print name 8. This is the way we can filter our keys by using where. The same like where we can use other functions, right? For example first where like this, but this time we don't need to convert it to a list, right? And its type also will be string, because here you can see first where, if you hover on first where, it will show return type here. Its return type is string because it will return only one item. You can see it is showing name 8. Same like this we can use here last where and other all the functions. I hope you understand, so kindly try one by one. The same like keys, here we can use values. Here let me use ends with y, so it will print a smiley, you can see. So by using names dot map, here we can get dot values or dot keys. We can perform all the operations of where on values or keys, right? If we need on both keys and values, then let me show you. And name map dot entries, right? Here you can see entries, and on the entries we can use our where like this. It will give us map entry, and its type will be same like our map string e. And here we can use our condition. Let me use on next line. Here we can get both keys and values. If we use here key, it will give us key. If we use value, it will give us value. dot starts with, for example, capital A, because it will give a result. Let me show you result as iterable map entry. We can convert this into a list dot to list. Now we can store this into a list of uh, map entry. Type is string like this. We can name it as result. This is a bit difficult from previous. Let me show you. It will give a result in a map entry, right? Here you can see it is giving a result as a list of map entries, right? It is showing our first map entry because only first entry match our condition. Here you can see all these are entries and each entry include a key and value. Here you can see this is map entry. Here it is key and value. So on the base of key and values, we can filter our map. I hope you understand. So here we can use our where after entries. Here, if I show you where, it is showing all the functions. So kindly practice this, and if you face any issue, you can contact me. Now we will see filtrations for our set. So this is the set I already created. Now let me use name set dot where. Here we can use our where, and its type is iterable string. Let me use it. It will work same like list. This is very simple. Here same like list, we can use our condition ends with y, for example y. Now we can convert this into list because it will give result in a list, and we can store it into our list of string and name it as result, for example. Now let me print result. Here you can see it is working. So it will work same like list. You can choose any other functions. We can also get our result in set if we need. Here you can see it is giving result in a list, right? But if we need result in set, right? Here we can choose our set. For example, let me replace list with set. And here we also need to convert to set. So in this way it will give a result in a set. Let me show you. Here you can see it is giving result in set. I hope you understand. Here we can use e dot length, for example, greater than 4. Let me show you. You can use any condition. It will work same like list as we have seen for list. So all the operations will work same like list. Now let me show some other operations. For example, name set dot retain, as we already seen, retain where. Here you can see it does not have a return type. It will not return anything. Its return type is void. So here let me use e retain. Here I want only items that ends with y. For example, e dot ends with y. So it will print only items ends with y. Name set. Here you can see it is printing. So it modifies existing set, right? It will not return a new set. So keep in mind. So this was retain where. There is also another function retain all. Let me show you retain all. Here we need to pass a list, right? For example, I want only two items, Alice and Bob. So it will delete all the items and keep only Alice and Bob, right? Let me show you. Here you can see it is printing only Alice and Bob. All other items has been removed. So this is the use of retain and retain all. We can also use other functions. Here you can see other functions same like list. I hope you will try all the functions, and if you have any problem you can contact me. I hope you enjoy today's tutorial. If you have any confusion, you can ask in comment box or you can contact me directly on WhatsApp. Okay, good luck.